Hello, so I figured I'd do another kind of post-commentary game. As you can see by my name, there's a lot of elo lost when I played this. There's a up and down 120 elo day, so that was fun. Um, so I'm playing a Brigadier right now. Um, this is gonna be pretty close. I'm playing USSR right here on Highway, and my strategy, I kind of want to do something pretty basic. I just wanted to attack the highway, go straight to the highway, take Triangle Forest, get some good angles, fully take Delta, and then start working on these two one-pointers over here. That was the idea behind all of this. Um, I don't know who my opponent is. Um, we're kind of talking at the start, so I'll speed up through the first couple 4 minutes. Um, but yeah, just I want to do some standard stuff here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open triple T72B. Just go a lot of mediums just to push right up the highway. I know he's playing red because I have the blue colors right here. Um, and that's good because it's telling me I'm not playing against like a moto deck most likely because the most people who play moto decks are playing blue moto, not like Baltic moto because it's not as good. So I want to start with some Factoria, um, second CV of course. I want to get some recon on the highway. I want to go heavier into the ground, so I'm not going to start the K52 this time. I'll just speed up because there's first 4 minutes are just kind of me talking with my opponent. But get some recon, some fodder for my tanks. I'm going with the Book instead here, which honestly was a mistake because I don't have the K52. I really wanted to get more units just in general, which is why I swapped the Book because it was a bit cheaper than Tunguska. Um, you'll see why it was a mistake in a second, but here we go. So radar's microed. This is going to land on the highway, hopefully get me some recon. And I think if I had the Tunguska, this would be a totally fine opener, but because I don't have the Tunguska, it's a bit dicey. Because it's going to be a little bit hard to defend against helicopters, as you can see here. So my opponent did is he fire pause underneath my helicopter, which stunned it, and then his helicopter right here, which was a K-52, ended up killing it. So now I have to be a lot more cautious with my BTR-80A recon, which is holding up everything, because right now I'm completely blind, which is not good. So yeah, in hindsight, changing this for the Tunguska would have been better. Now I know my opponent, I can see it on the screen, has an SU-25, and that means I have to turn my radar on. Unfortunately, though, the K-52 is going to get the pick, which is really bad because, as you can see, my opponent has a lot of helicopters. So I'm going to kind of just get annihilated here. The K-52 is almost... I have to buy this to deal with these helicopters. But yeah, there's all my infantry. My tank has to go all the way back right here. It was a big disaster. At this point, I know I'm playing themintjellyman because we were talking about the BMP-1D as a kind of nostalgic unit from a while ago. And there are a lot of helicopters, so now I know who I'm playing against. I lost my Factoria over here to something, and I basically have severely lost the opener, which is not good. So my opponent's going to be able to gain a ton of ground. I have no recon, no AA. Well, I do have recon as the K-52. And I'm getting pushed. I'm not quite sure why my opponent's pushing me with one T-88, but I do have to be a bit cautious because I am on low HP. But, fortunately, I'm able to get this pick right here because my opponent's monkey microing his tanks. And if there's any redeeming quality features in this, at least I got the pick on his tank right there. So right now I basically have to play damage control of, I have to give a lot of ground, maintain at least a little bit of presence on the highway so I can get back in. and just start building up recon, zoning, and some AA. Because my opponent still has his SC-25, which is not good for me. So I need supply trucks, more recon. I basically need to rebuild my entire opener while my opponent didn't really lose everything. Now that BTR 90 I spotted over here definitely could be an issue, because if he picks my AA, I only get one book left, and against Jelly, who really likes to use planes and stuff like that, that's a problem. So this has to take care of it right here, along with the MI8 MTV. I get this stun off, which is good. So yeah, that could have gone a lot worse. But right now this is basically worst case scenario, because I'm completely blind on the highway. I have no idea what's happening. I have this hole here to plug. I have this hole here to plug. I have no idea what's happening here. It's kind of a disaster of a situation. And of course, my opponent, as you can see, now has another SC-25 up. And I'm getting pushed from here. So this is basically a worst case scenario, which I really did not want to end up into, because the opener went pretty terribly. You can see my opponent's trying to do some K52 most shulky action over here. And this Hind kills my scratch out, which is not good. Sorry, this Hind attacks this, and my scratch out here dies, so I'm completely zoned out. And I basically have to have this yak right now, just to make sure that my tank stays safe. It gets a hit on the SC-25, which is good enough, so I can take this a little farther back. And I can really just work on plugging up this hole right here and getting some AA. Yeah. Now, the K52 killed my factory over here, which is sad. And this guy's just doing a little bit of work, but this is really not looking good, as you can see. Not sure why my opponent's doing this with the dry seed run. I think he's just kind of screwing around. One book misses. I lose the Yaxas, dumb. I lost the two, I think, of base Osa, if I remember correctly, when I looked at the replay. So, I mean, unlucky, but it was a dumb engagement for me to take in the first place. I see my opponent's trying to move some infantry over here, so thankfully these D-72s can deal with that. Really, though, I'm quite lucky right now that my opponent hasn't moved more recon up the highway, because if that happened, I can't live on the highway because, well, I got no recon, because I'll just be outspotted completely. This was a bit of a mismicro on my end. Yeah, as you can see, that was definitely not intentional, especially because I'm getting sniped by Spet Screw here. But at this point, I really can't. I basically have to see if my opponent's going to push into me and make small micro mistakes here and there. So that way, I can basically trade up on a lot of pickups. Because if I don't do that and I try to push too early, I'm just going to lose the entire nose wiped off the map. So I want to focus on getting good trades, building up like 2 T80s here. Like my idea right now is to be able to push down this road right here, get some most shulky to help me here. And then just get back into here with an Oregon Strike. Now this is happening over here. These VDV are pushing up, which is good for me because that's going to be a nice pickup I can make, especially as the Scrabbles coming in and help. So that's a nice little pickup. My K52 should be a bit more active. I can't really focus on Gregory right now because if I try to play too wide, my opponent because they have the KD advantage. Will be easily kill my using Greg, and I'll just have a worse KD. So I more or less have to give Greg up for free. Now over here, I was able to pick a scratch out with the Spet Screw on 1 HP, and this one here as well. I really want to keep these alive. Unfortunately, they're not being kept alive. He just has too much stuff. But right now, I'm really happy with actually how this is going, because my opponent's just kind of feeding units. trying to attack me. What my opponent should be doing, just moving recon up the highway, moving ATGMs up the highway, and then attacking into Gregory. If they do that, they'll be in good shape. Now I notice that he has his SU-25 circling, so I have to really do some good radar micro, because I know he has a seed plane that I didn't kill. I also know I need a supply truck here. And I get the hit on 1 HP, he's forced to evac, and that's good, because that's going to really buy me time. Now I see that my opponent has moved recon up the highway, and I am getting outranged by that T-80A, so I have to fall back even more. Over here, I'm able to pick up that K-29, because what I did is I was mortaring underneath it, so that the pop-up and the Scredgers could get the kill. So now I got 2 elite Scredgers, so I'm very happy. The Tunguska coming in, and now I get some recon for the highway, and I'm okay here. Meanwhile, I'm going to try this push right here. See if I can make some sort of progress. And on this side over here, I spotted a K-52, but I'm going to lose this. I can't focus on Gregory right now. Once again, my opponent has a T-88 here that I'm not properly taking into account. I should have passed the smoke here and then engaged. But yeah, I was able to kill the sped screw here. But I'm a bit cautious because I took a lot of damage coming in. Because he has so many ATGMs. So I'm still perpetually behind. I just don't want to lose this area in particular right here, which is why I send 1 BDV there. I can't focus on actually taking the rest of Greg. I just don't want to lose this because it'll be a bit hard to get back into. If I don't get any hits on. These triple stacks of B-tier 90s are going to be an issue because it's going to be very hard to engage them, and they're going to kill all my bonus trophies there. But I am able to get recon down onto the highway, and that's what I'm looking for here. That's going to be the first step in actually coming back in this situation. Now, unfortunately, my elite Scredgers are going to die because I was a bit too aggressive, because I can't really use my tanks right now. So I have to rearm the AA. The mortar got rearmed by accident. I'm still perpetually behind. And unfortunately this happens here, and I'm able to trade, but the last AGL shot kills me. Now my MTV over here dies to an OSA, which is not good. I was really needing that MTV to help kill any recon he has here, because I know he has stuff because my T-Sync 2Bs got spotted all of a sudden. And there's his recon, which is exactly what I was looking for. So I can push up now. And these are just B-tier 90s, so I can engage my low HP T-80s and hopefully get a pit. Unfortunately, that's too much to ask for right now, but not quite. I'm also getting pushed here. I have a bunch of holes in my position. And over here, I really can't... This B-tier 90 is going to be a big problem if it gets through, because everything here dies. And the line of sight here is always a little bit funny, because you can't really shoot up. Sometimes you can. It's very awkward. Maybe I'll get a pick, though, and call my own plane to deal with this, which is good. So, I'm slowly making progress on making slightly better trades, and just really focusing on building up to push down the highway and back into this area. Now I see there's a Tor here, so I'm in the open, and I can see it, and I'll target it and get that pickup, which is really important. The K-52 gave me vision. And with that pickup right there, I'm making a lot of nice little trades that are going to really help me get back into this game. And maybe these Ts can actually do something about the B-tier 90 and I won't lose all my VDV. So, that was nice. Now, he does have this base OSA here, and I'm forced to land my K-52 to protect it. The line of sight here is just very wonky. Actually trying to hit that base OSA. And this is a problem because if I stay still, the T-88s will pop it. So I have to smoke here to hopefully protect from the OSA so I can get up and escape eventually. Unfortunately, it's not going to quite work out because he gets line of sight, and I'm gone, and I'm going to miss a shot. So that was a really bad thing to happen. Now I'm even more. I have to still keep on waiting. Still though, I have four T-72Bs and 2 T-80s, so I have a lot more tanks than he has. Because on the tank and ground side, I've been trading a lot better, and I've been plugging a lot more holes over time. And I can move my recon up, and I can start getting ready to go into position. These VDV can get into this area, hopefully, and maybe actually completely not lose Gregory, which would be nice, or not completely lose Gregory. Now, this triple stack of BTRTs here worries me, because if he shoves these just straight up here, he might be able to just bully my T-80s and get to my CV, especially with his plane coming in. And once again, I have to be very cautious, because I do have that plane to worry about. I'm sending Spetsgru over here because I'm pretty comfortable in Fedor right now. So I feel like I can spare some points here to just slowly work my way back in. And over here, I purchased the Uragan, and now it's just time to full salvo this and get myself in. Thankfully he misses, and I know he's got no AA now, or no seed, so I can turn my AA on. But it's still very tricky. Anyway, well, his seed's a little bit late, and we'll get shot off on it, and boop, nice. So my full salvo is done. I have 2 BTRTs, a T-72B here, triple stack T-72Bs. Now I can come and push in. And because I have so many more tanks than he has, because I've been trading better, I'm able to do some damage. And these are a lot of nice little pickups I can get for mostly for free. I think I'll trade him here, especially after that crit. But MTVs are good, so that sucks. Fortunately for me, though, I'm able to have a really good plane run, kill both T-80s, kill a Tor, and get a lot of nice little pickups there, which is really going to help me. So I can now push back into this triangle force, supported by Sapri and BTRTs and tanks. And everything's going really well all of a sudden. Like, yes, my tanks are damaged here. I lost one of them, but because I really supplemented my attack with my planes, and I picked yet another Tor, this is going quite well. And all of a sudden, I'm back in the game, because my opponent just made a bunch of silly little errors that added up over time. And I'm trading a lot better now. So I'm actually quite happy. My A gets a rearm and it's up at it, so it hopefully will actually hit things now. And this is a little trade I think I can win, especially with this best crew here. So this is another little pickup I can make. But the way to play these situations are to play for the small pickups when you completely lose the opener, and basically rebuild yourself to get back in when you lose the opener this hard. If you didn't lose the opener like this hard, then it's totally fine to like attack somewhere else, but in this situation I couldn't really attack anywhere else. Anyway, there's some small engagements going on over here. I have to pull back a little bit, but I'm able to push over here. So this is going quite well all of a sudden, so I'm really happy. This is not being microed, that's just a mistake. I don't think I noticed. And you know, there's a little gap here I have to plug with, which is annoying. There, I see the K2, so I micro it. At the same time that there are these and my 24Ds I have to kill as well, which I think are going to be more of a threat, because this position is very hard to take. And I'm more worried about picking off 110 points of helos than this K-52 that I'm probably not going to be able to get. Now I get 2 more T-80s to really help my push. So right now I just have a lot of tanks. I'm just playing on that. I figured because he's advances so many points in helicopters and planes, if I can out-micro him there and I can play on a good ground game, then I can win this. Now this was silly. I really want to kill supplies though, but you know, I got screwed over by Bezos, so that was dumb. I got greedy. Like if I kept that alive, I think I could have played a lot more aggressively later, and with better synergy. But it is what it is at this point. It was a dumb move. But right now, like, this has gone from horrible, terrible to just mildly bad. Now, this one strategy here is causing issues. I am forced to deal with it with more than just one Motostrelki. But now I get to work on this next stage of my plan, which is getting back into this town and pushing up through here. And then getting some more highway control, taking Greg, and then taking eventually. Like, taking is going to be very important. Unfortunately, there's a Buratino here, which is going to kind of wreck all my plans. And push me back even further. As far as delaying me goes. I'm a little bit annoyed by that, so I'm going to erg on it. So I'm going to erg on the Buratino, maybe I can get a hit on it, panic it. And then I'm going to erg on this area right here so my VD can get back in. Because if I lose this area, he can put like 80 gems and tanks here. And it can be very hard to actually put my tanks here. Because I may get side shot because I'll have recon and stuff like that. So there's a half salvo where the Bertino was, and here's a half salvo to get back into here. I got to repair my tanks and rearm them. Here, I unload now, I can walk back in because everything here should be panicked. And I get some more recon. Honestly, with a double VD in the credits, I'm okay, but before, I should not have invested that spec screw because I did not have enough credits to help me out. He just got really unlucky here. I'm missing that shot. It happens, I guess. But that was important for me. Because now I can win this fight because I take upfetted VDV in this deck. There's a supply truck for me to pick. I can mobilize back into this Triangle Forest area. And I can get some picks on his helicopters, which is really good. So at this point, he probably doesn't have much in here. Because he's spending a lot of points in the air still. Like as you can see, there's a lot of points spent on K-52. That's being aggressive and getting hit. Unfortunately, he's going to start spotting my BTR-90, which is a problem. But we're just still focusing on making a little progress here, a little progress there. And this is definitely some missed micro. I'm still very cautious about turning my book on because I don't know what he has. Because, you know, there's a seed right there. But because he's going to fly right over, stunned, my AA gets to turn on in just a second. And that should be the end of the SU-25. But 2 armor planes are funny. And there it takes 2 shots. So that's nice. Almost crashes right on top of the book too, which is a little funny. But yeah, we're just continuing this slow game. These VDV get to swap places with the Factory over here. Maybe to work on some pushing up here. I got triple Sakamoto Shelky to really help me push. And I figure that, well, because I kill his Scratch right here, maybe I can go around this side, put my BRDM-3s here, and cause some problems for him in his spawn. It's not as strong as attacking someone's spawn on this side, but it's a possibility. So I get my T-72Bs get ready to move up. Here come my triple stack. My supply trucks are ready, and now I'm in a great position. And I can really work on attacking now, as you can see. I'm confident I'm going to win this fight because I'm up-vetted and he's down. And there should be more support coming in right now. This is a really important pick here because now he has no recon on the highway, at least, that I can see. And that means that I have a lot more freedom to operate, especially if I pick that Osa. So I can now work on really pushing up through here. TDs get into position. Honestly, I probably have more tanks than I can actually effectively micro. And I really should be using them more, but I'm a little bit overwhelmed with how many units I have. I figured that I'd be able to get these into position before losing these VDV. So that's a mistake on my end. I'm losing these units over here, but honestly I don't really care because now I have Dimitri and I can get that CV in. It's taken me a long time to get to this point, but I'm okay right now. It's just a long process of working myself all the way up to being able to actually push. Fortunately here, my Tunguska lags behind is over here, my Book's over here. And I'm able to cause a little bit of havoc over here that forces him to spawn a lot of units in just a second. Still though, I'm able to actually take Dimitri, and I can really work on buying that CV. What I'm doing here is I really want to waste the MI8 MTB missiles on the rocket pods and the P-72B. Unfortunately, though, my opponent spawns a triple stack of BTRTs, and this is not going to go quite as well for me. I mean, I'll do a bit of damage coming in, though, so that's good. But yeah, right now I just focus on highway control, moving my A up, which I should have done before. Should have used these tanks as well. And now I can get that CV and start ticking. My opponent has a bunch of T-88s here. My tanks are almost veteran though, so I'm actually pretty confident that if I can get one pick and get these veteran, I'll start winning this engagement. So I'm definitely going to take this, especially the most shotgun-fronted tank for me. I'm also really annoyed about this Buratino at this point, because it's very hard to play against. So I'm just going full salvo. Maybe I can panic him with my MTB. Probably not. But every little bit of damage helps, especially against these T-88s, because they have really terrible accuracy at 50 and 35. But now, if I remember, I have these tanks over here. My C gets to come in, my A gets to move up. The Book should be moving to a more aggressive spot. The Tunguska should definitely be in a more aggressive spot right now. But this is going quite well. Almost like it took a long time to get here. Though. Now I have to be very cautious engaging with these T-72Bs because one is on half HP. My next point of engagement is this town right here. So I can get some recon, I believe it's this guy right there, into this town. These T-80s can support, I can apply a lot of pressure. And that BTRT, it was damaged from the BRDM3s over here, which is why the VDV will be able to one-shot it. I'm able to get one pick, but I'm able to lose a T-80. I lose a T-80 as a result because I don't see the T-88 there, because I don't really have recon in this area right now, aside for one Res Vatican in an awkward position. So I have to fall back. But my CV's here. I stupidly lose the Tunguska due to this micro. I wanted to come right here and then pop up to kill the K-52, but I drove it too close to the T-88 by accident. So this 100 points of A gone for free. So that's dumb. But yeah, next point is panicking these T-80As, pushing up my recon, and I'm starting to apply a lot of pressure. That's the plan. I have my one ASF out because I really want to kill his, one of these planes right here. And a bit of miss micro, I'm kind of forced to engage. Not my intention. Thankfully, the SU-27S is dog shit. Unfortunately for me, though, if I remember this correctly, his base OSAs are better. Or this is a Tor, I don't remember which. Either way, the trade's not that bad. He's going to have one more ASF than I will, though, because I lost my Yak. But SU-27S is pretty bad. So, there you go. I'm ticking. 10 minutes left. My opponent really can't get a CV anytime soon. I have a decent amount of Greg enough to put a CV in when I choose to do that, so I'm quite happy. I need another AA piece because I missed microed. I really want a bigger tank right here as well to help push against this T80A. But yeah, I'm actually quite happy with this situation. I'm getting just some Moto Strelk over here to really work on prepping Greg for a CV. Now I'm also doing is I'm getting ready to start sneaking up through here to get some recon on everything. So that once my Oregon is ready, I can strike, move in, and deal a whole lot of damage. Now his C is just a little too close to the sun, so I'm able to get a shot off. Unfortunately, it misses though. And right now I'm just waiting for this tank to get here, so that as it comes in just right now, as I salve on this T80A, its already shit accuracy will be even shittier. And I can move in with my T88 with my T80s. This best screw can walk up to spot his APGMs, and my OBR 1989 can come in to really help out here. I forgot to micro this Tunguska though, so it didn't even hit the K52, and that's just more points than AA gone. He hits me while panicked, and I miss him. So this is funny. He's got 31 accuracy, and he hits me like 2 or 3 times in a row, something silly. I miss him here, so that was an engagement I just got unlucky on. It happens. But I definitely should have won that engagement. Still, though, with my recon pushing up, my OBR 1989 coming in, I'm able to make a decent amount of progress here, which is good. I have to be a bit cautious about moving into this town because while I know there is nothing in here, the pathing can be pretty awkward. So I'm going to stay just outside of it until I know that T80 is no longer a threat. Because I'm only on 6 HP right now. Anyway, still prepping this area for CV, getting some little tripwires. Now I get the opposite feeling right. Of course I'm happy. I can really try to push him out here. He's on 1 HP, I'm on really low HP, so it's a bit dicey of an engagement to take. Unfortunately, though, I forgot about these VDV over here, so I lose my T80 to side shots, which is sad. Though, I've pushed him back, I've gained a lot of ground. I have this area prepped, and now I can buy my CV. So I can keep on ticking on him, which is exactly what I'm looking for here. Forgot to rearm my Oregon, so that could be pretty useful right now if I could basically push Oregon this area, then push in, or Oregon this area and push up once my T-Centuries are rearmed. So it's going to delay me a little bit. I also need to really work on microing my supply trucks more efficiently, because I kind of forget them after a little bit, which hurts. Funny thing is, I've been killing a lot of his supply trucks because I have shoot on supplies turned on. So he has to buy a lot of supply trucks all the time, which is points he's not spending on the ground, and eventually, hopefully, he will run out. This is really important. Him shooting his MTV right here tells me that he has no units in here. Otherwise, he would have not done that. So that tells me he has no use in here, presumably no use in here, so he only has these double stacks of VDV here. He shot right here because he thought I was spotting a Screwjet with recon here. Unfortunately for him, though, I have recon here, which is doing the job. Now, I'm trying to pick this vector before it's able to get in, and I see this T80 UK moving here. That's really important. So, what I'm gonna kind of change tactics here, because if he gets a T80 UK and he can start taking on me, or we end up neutral. And while 32 points is enough to win right now, um, he only needs 2 minutes of a +1 to tie. And that's not that much. So I have to change tactics to basically make it impossible for him to put that CV right there. So what I want to do is I want to start shelling this area with mortars to start causing fires. Because if I cause enough fires here, he can't actually put his CV down. And if he can't put his CV down, then he can't take on me. And I can eventually take on him once my CV gets there on Greg. Now he's trying to do a little bit of a push back in. And I see he has a Tor here as well. That's what killed me. You can see my plan's already starting to work, causing a little bit of fires here and there to eventually get his T80 UK out. Hopefully, it'll come out showing side, or it will come out just be unable to put that CV there, and it'll have to come out like in this area, and I'll see it, and I'll be able to get the pick on it with like an 8 gem plane. Now, because my CV is here, I can start taking on him. His push here is kind of not working anymore. I really wasn't microing his T88, which I should have done. I was kind of killing the infantry because I was paying attention to other places. But right now, I'm really working on is getting this Tor. I see this spot on the Tor, and because I have an SU-25, I can fire pause it and have my seed behind, so I'll be okay. And that's just a nice little pick there. Which is good. So I'm quite happy right here. Okay, able to pick up a third Tor. He can't CV here. Maybe makes a little bit of progress here, just kind of moving some recon up. Maybe get a CV in here in last 4 minutes. And really work on pushing a triangle for us to get that pick. There's the T80K doing exactly what I wanted. Because I have my recon here, I can see him, and the fire is making it impossible for him to actually stand still. Or rather, for him to make it very hard for him to stand still. So it's important that these mortars just keep on firing, basically, while I buy time for my planes to come in. Unfortunately, I lose line of sight. But again, back at last second, and the pathing kind of bugs out a little bit, and I'm going to lose my 25, which is sad. I get a hit on that ASF, which is good, though. Why he's able to shoot at me when I had my no radar off and no ammo, I don't know, but that ASF's not coming back for basically the whole game, which is important. So I can really work on pushing here. You can see that because I caused so many fires, he can't really be in this area anymore. Which is exactly what I was looking for. So I get to keep on ticking. Here's his T80 UK. My Factoria died of something here, so I know he has some units pushing here. I can get my seed out. 27K comes in. I shotgun it. Bam. Good pickup. I up that as well. And that's exactly what I was looking for. I'll take these engagements here. I'm going to trade. It's a bit risky with how low HP I am. But every shot I deal a lot of damage to him. So I'm okay with trading here. And now I've got 2 tanks at veteran. So I've won my tank engagements. I killed my CVs. I got recon in this position. I'm ticking. So this game's basically wrapped up at this point, which is nice. And I wanted to get these GRU to take this town right here. But I do know that there's a hole here. I have to plug now. But yeah, this is basically how you come back into a winning position. You let them make mistakes. You focus on building up. You try to win these tiny little engagements, and then you try to do one big push at once. Now I see this CV right here, so that's a 27K target because I got 2 Razvedka right here spotting. Here comes the Urgon. I just wanted to Urgon this area over here just so that he can't push. Unfortunately, if I lose line of sight, I figured I'd get enough line of sight there with the amount of recon here I have, but he's probably hiding deep in this forest in this area, so I'm forced to turn back. And right now I'm just he can't put the CV in because if he tries to, it'll be instantly spotted, and the 27K will kill it. Now over here I get detracked funny enough, which is sad, but this game, the comedy in this game knows no bounds. Um, but yeah, this game is wrapped up at this point. At this point, I'm just trying to increase my KD, and hey, there's my target. Here I come. Nice little pickup. Straight to hardened. Um, this is what one of the things I've been doing this deck is I've had take 2 cards of VD and spread us both up at it so I become a veteran. And I've really liked it because it allows me to win engagements like this very quickly, and take fewer losses. Especially now once they're both elite. Like having elite shocks is really strong, and getting up to veteran is quite nice in doing that. Going up to starting at veteran is gets you there much faster. You can really see here how even though I have morale damage, he's going to get absolutely obliterated in the open because I'm just at elite. It helps quite a bit. I'm a bit too deep in the forest to make as much of an impact as I would have liked, but here the game ends. So yeah, that's what I got for you. As you can see, the T-72Bs did a lot of work. Books killed nice things. Um, I had some okay tank gameplay. Like I definitely could have microed that a lot better. I because I did get a bit overwhelmed. This SC-25 put in the work. This was the one that got 2 T-80As and a Tor. Um, the Oregon didn't really do all that much this game. Because I mean, there's like that one push that helped him, but beyond that, I was more annoyed with the Buratino, which is a mistake on my end. I should have just focused more on using it offensively rather than trying to counter already with it, which is in retrospect very silly. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.